Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to our coffee times to talk about horror, and today I bring you a quick movie review. I'm here to talk to you about the latest M Night Shyamalan movie. We're here to discuss Trap.
It's coffee time.
I've been really looking forward to this movie because I did see the trailer, which, in retrospect, the trailer does spoil something, but that something happens at the very beginning of the movie, so it is not a huge spoiler. I think the director didn't mind people knowing it before getting to the movie. It's also really hard to do a trailer without even mentioning that. So if you have not seen the movie, and if you have not seen the trailer, I am going to mention the little bit that is spoiled in the trailer, so just putting it out there. This is going to be still 100% spoiler-free review, but I am going to talk about something that is revealed in the trailer. Again, that is something that happens in the first 15 minutes of the movie or so I don't consider it a huge big spoiler. But when I saw the trailer, I was excited because this felt like a very different type of movie for M. Night, and his movies are always a hit or miss with me. Some of his movies have been a really big miss. Like, I think it's called The Happening, and Old was also not for me. So I was a little bit scared going into this because I had high expectations, especially we have Josh Hartnett back. Hello. And let's talk about the movie now. It is an American psychological thriller written, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, and in this movie, he is bringing us back Josh Hartnett as we always wanted to see him as a main character on an interesting thriller. We also have Ariel Donaghy and we have Saleka Shyamalan, who is the director's daughter. The plot follows a man and his teenage daughter that go to a concert when they realize that they are at the center of a dark and sinister event. Attending this Lady Raven show is an average guy named Cooper and his teenage daughter Riley. Shortly after their arrival, and with minimal character development, Cooper notices a strong police presence at the venue, including heavily armed men at the doors. So he starts to ask around to people what's going on, why is there so much security at this concert? It seems a little bit over the top, like they're with weapons and everything. And he gets the scoop from someone that they're looking for a serial killer called The Butcher that is very famous, and it's rumored that it's going to attend that concert. That is why they're gonna be checking every mail before they leave the venue in order to catch him. As the trailer reveals, that serial killer is none other than Cooper, played by Josh Hartnett, and he freaks out a little bit, but then he's like, you know what? Let's figure out how am I gonna get out of here. So this is why the movie is called Trap. It's because this concert has been basically prepared to trap him inside and catch him, which makes the movie a lot of fun because you have now a serial killer, very serious dark guy that is trapped in a concert filled with screaming teenagers, but also sociopaths love a challenge, and so he is in a way even a little bit excited about it. And I really have to praise Josh Hartnett for this performance. I think that was the best part of the movie, was seeing the way that he approached the character and the way that he made this character so dark, but at the same time so friendly to people on the outside, and was able to carry that darkness with him. And you could see him sometimes smirking because he loves a good cat and mouse game. Let's talk about Saleka Shyamalan that plays Lady Raven in the movie. So the rumor goes that she asked her dad for a movie because she wanted to, sing and perform, and that's why this movie has this huge emphasis on the concert and the songs. And unlike other movies where when the characters are in a concert, you see snippets of the songs, snippets of the concert. This one, you see full songs. There is a lot of attention paid to the stage, to Lady Raven. You feel almost like you're watching a real concert, which in retrospect they did, because M. Night shared in an interview that they actually filmed a full-on concert because they thought that was going to be a way to make it really believable. So all the songs are written and sang by the daughter, which, you know, kudos to her, because, you know, it's nice songs, nice music, and everything was written specifically for the movie. But now here comes my pet peeve. I didn't mind all the songs and the concert bits, even though I thought it was a little bit too much. The thing is, she's also kind of like a main character in the movie, and she ended up acting a lot, and her acting was not the best. And I don't want to criticize her. She's a young girl, and I know that she gave her best and she had great direction from her dad, but her acting was not the best in the movie. Ariel Donahue, however, who plays Riley, Cooper's daughter, I think she did a wonderful job at portraying the daughter that has to go through all of these motions, and you see her so excited in the concert, like you believe her. I believed her. For me, she was a real character. The same with Cooper. Both main characters, you know, father-daughter relationship, fantastic, really believable, love them together, great chemistry. That was my favorite part of the film. And the majority of the movie does take place inside of this concert venue. As I've said before, I wish they wouldn't have giving us so much of the performance and so many songs, and I felt like it was a little bit too much. This movie felt, somebody said, like the audition tape of Salek Shyamalan, and I get it, because it's like they're pushing it. So I felt like it was a little bit too much for my personal taste. The movie had great twists and turns. There are many in this one. It's like a roller coaster of turns and twists. But I have to tell you, you need to suspend disbelief to watch this movie. A lot of things were extremely convenient. A lot of things were very questionable. You have to be in disbelief. Yeah, like this movie is not realistic, which it's cinema, it's fiction. It's not supposed to be everything real. I get it. But there's a lot of things that I know 100% they cannot be like that. They cannot happen like that. Either that or this is the luckiest man alive, whoever lived. But nevertheless, that did not spoil the fun, because this is a movie that integrated a lot of humor into the story. I think this is probably the funniest M Night movie that I've seen, and I think I've seen all of his. The way the humor was integrated was a lot of fun, because sometimes you didn't know if you were allowed to laugh. And some people laughed at scenes that I didn't laugh, so I don't know. It had a very interesting sense of humor, and that combined with the serial killer aspect to it, I thought was a great kind of like balance to have this darkness and this comic relief. At its core, this movie is not exactly horror, but it is more of a cat and mouse type of thriller where the police are looking for a serial killer, and then you have the serial killer that is trying to escape the police and make it out of there without being noticed. The pacing was a little bit uneven. It was a little bit awkward sometimes, the pacing, or exactly the times where a twist would come. Sometimes it was a little bit off. But I had a lot of fun with this, and I think it's because mostly Josh Hartnett's portrayal of a serial killer. And also, even though it was not horror, there were many dark elements to it. And part of why I love the character of Cooper so much, it's because he was a very charismatic serial killer, but not just that, it's that this movie introduces you to a father and his daughter, and you care for them. And in a way, the way that this character is played by Josh, you love this character. You want this character to succeed. You are on his side. You care for the killer. It is a story told from his point of view, and you end up sympathizing, you end up wanting him to get away, which is not always the case when you have a villain or a serial killer. In most cases, you don't want them to win. Another thing the movie did really well is the tension. There were many moments where it was very tense, and it got really awkward and uncomfortable in a good way in this type of film. So I think the tension building and achieving and keeping that tension was well executed as well. But at the end of the day, I can only give this one a 3 out of 5, because I think there is many things that were not great. Like I said, too many concert bits. I did not really enjoy his daughter's performance as an actor. She's a great singer, but as an actor, it just didn't feel believable to me. There is many things that happen that are very, very out there, convenient, things that wouldn't happen in real life, but to the point where, you know, the director really pushes it too much. However, many good things as well. This movie has many good points. Josh, great acting, portrayal of a serial killer. It was a brand new, fresh idea, not something remade or something taken from a book. It was an original idea, so I have to praise them for that. I thought it was fun, it was entertaining, it had good tension, and it was just a fun cat and mouse kind of game between the police and him, and you know, it was fun and entertaining. So for all of that, I would still say it's worth your time if you just want to give it a watch. It's not been my favorite of the year, but it's a movie that I would potentially rewatch because, like I said, Cooper as a killer and Josh as Cooper, fantastic. Love that. So this is a movie that I would potentially rewatch, which is a lot more than you can say for other of M Night movies because I did not love all of his. So I'm glad that this one really worked for me and I had a really good time. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoyed this quick movie review. Let me know down below if you have seen the movie, what you thought of it, spoiler free please, and also let me know if you like M Night Shyamalan and which is your favorite movie of his. Let's talk about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all as always in our next coffee time. Bye!